What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Singing the Tea. I'm your host, Dustin, singer actor Lewis, and you already know sometimes I sing, sometimes I give you all the reality TV tea. And this week I'm coming to you with another episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And baby, just hold on. When I tell y'all this is gonna be a good season, I am loving what we are getting so far this season. The only thing that will make it better for me is me getting more Kenya. I feel like that'll be the only thing that'll make it better. If I got more of Kenya, her storyline, her building her salon, or just finishing her salon, I would love more of that. So I feel like that's the only thing that's really missing. Is for this season, don't get me wrong, there are people I would love to see, but for this particular season, what we're getting, I would love more Kenya. But overall, y'all, this is a fantastic season so far. We're only 3 episodes in, and overall, it's pretty good. Like, we're getting some good dynamics from all of the girls, even the new people. I'm really liking the majority of them, but they're great. So let's jump into it. If you're new here, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell button, all of that good stuff. Let's jump into the episode. Now, y'all, we have intros this week. So this week we have the intros. My favorite intro for right now, I would say it's Angela's. I really like Angela's intro. I'm starting to really like Angela. Now, she's coming from my girl Shamia now. Not too much on Miss Shamia now. Not too much on Miss Shamia. But other than that, I really like what Angela is bringing this season. She's great, but her intro was spot on. I really enjoyed it. I liked hers. I liked Shamia's. I honestly liked all of them. I liked all of them, but my favorite, I would say, was Angela's. Now, jumping into the episode, we see Brittanyeady, her and her husband are getting ready. Brit is beautiful. Brit is stunning. She's really a beautiful woman. But we see her and her husband, they are getting ready to have the in-laws over so that they can have a dinner or whatever. And, Britt is talking about, she's bringing this up again in like her confessional about her being, a video vixen when she was in high school. She talks about dating rappers and dating ballers, and it just wasn't like a secure lifestyle, basically. And when she met her husband, Mike, she was like, hey, this is going to be my husband. This is husband material here. And I love that. The biggest thing that, in which we do get a little bit more about Britt a little bit later, the biggest thing when it comes to Angela is like they keep saying that she was this video vixen, and I don't know if it's because she was in high school they can't show it. I don't know, but I wish they would show like clips. Like for instance, I feel like if Corinne Steffen was on this show, we would see clips of Corinne Steffen being the video vixen, right? Wait, who did I say? I did not mean to say. I meant to say Melissa Ford. That's what I meant to say. I did not mean to bring Corinne. Oh Lord. Scratch that. People listen, charges to my head and not my heart. I meant Melissa Ford. If you were gonna show us Melissa Ford, you were gonna show us clips of Melissa Ford being that girl, because she was that video vixen girl. Anyway, I just would like to see more of that. She talks about how she used to date Rick Ross too. Well, they asked her that. Cool. Cool. Work. Rick Ross. One thing about Rick Ross, he can pull them. Rick Ross ain't never had nobody. I don't think Rick Ross has ever dated anybody ugly. Shout out to you, Rick Ross, because you keep a baddie. I know that's right, Miss Ross. She got it. Now, as you know, she's talking to her husband. We see the family coming in, and her assistant Ruben. I think he was on the first season of Real Housewives, not Real Housewives. Love and Marriage. No, Love and Hip Hop. I'm going to get the shows together. I think he was on the first season of Love and Hip Hop with Jocelyn. Like, he was like Jocelyn's best friend or something. He looks familiar. I'm pretty sure he was on there. He was on there because he was like, what you going to do about the baby? I remember that. But he was on there with Jocelyn. And it's just interesting to see him as her assistant. But cool. But one thing about this, and I thought this was so funny, and kids gonna always spill your tea. When that little boy was over there talking about some lobster tails, this is a little fancy, ain't it? When I tell y'all that was good to me, that little boy let it be known. We don't normally have this. Y'all have a few pieces of ribs. We might have a little steak. We're gonna have some spaghetti or something on the stove, but we ain't having no lobster tail. That little boy aired y'all out, and I love to see it. That was good to me. So they start talking about, starting their family, wanting to grow their family. I think he already has one child. They want to have at least one together. And he's wanting the child. She's wanting to have the ceremony first. Y'all work that out. I would say, Britt, go ahead and have the baby. You can always have that ceremony. But girl, have that baby. You'll be a beautiful mother. So have that baby. So, as they're, winding out for dinner, she wants to talk to her sister-in-law downstairs. So they have a little champagne moment and they're chatting. And this scene I really liked from Britt because we got to see Britt in a different way. Typically we see Britt and I feel like it's not that it's superficial, but we just haven't gotten to know her on this level. So it's really, really nice to get to know her on a deeper level, getting to know her a little bit more. And she talks about, her father and how he was like the breadwinner of their family and his passing. And, he had $2 million in insurance policy set up. And her mother wasn't able to get that because of the transition between the two jobs. That's really sad. The one thing I would say, and I'm not trying to make this whole political thing, we have in our over here when it comes to insurance, we have to do a better job about that. I feel like there are so many things in the world like insurance, going to buy a car sometimes, going to buy a house, and it's like all of these hidden things, and people get upside down or people get stuck in certain things or end up losing all of this money because of the way the system is set up. So I feel like we just got to do a better job. Y'all didn't come here for that, but it just kind of sparked that from that conversation that she had about her father. So that was really, really nice to get that backstory of Britt because I feel like they give us a lot of what she used to do, but we don't have like any pictures. We don't see any brick and mortars of her insurance company. Like we don't see anything. So seeing the pictures of her and her family and her having that conversation with her sister-in-law was great. Now, when she's having a conversation with her sister-in-law, she's talking about how family is so important to her, but you got to fix that relationship with your sisters. I know you might feel like you did the right thing by selling that business and letting one of your sisters go, and they're upset with you, but how you handle things. I think that maybe put yourself in their shoes and understand where they're coming from, just like you want them to understand where you're coming from. Because you probably put them in a rut. I don't know, but the way it seems like maybe you didn't do it the most savory way. So possibly just get to know their perspective on it. And I think that y'all can work it out. And I hope y'all work it out for sure. You and your sisters. Um, One thing about her husband, he's just a little odd. I don't think he's a bad guy. He just seems really odd, and he doesn't seem like he can read the room that well. So he does seem a little odd there. I'll just say that. Now, what is that? Oh, never mind. I thought that was something. Um, so after that, we see Porsha heading over to meet up with Kelly for lunch. So we see Porsha, she got her Henny margarita. Love to see it. Um, when Kelly arrived, it was super awkward and weird between them. Super funny though, because you can tell they both were just like, yep, yeah. It was super awkward at first, but they started to warm up to each other. And Portia just lets her know how she felt. Like, listen, you came in hot. You were asking me questions. You didn't even really get the chance to get to know me. You were asking me these personal questions. And then Kelly just lets her know, hey, it wasn't like that. Like, I was telling Shamia these things, I said it a certain way. So they came to a good understanding on this situation. Now, in Portia's confessional, she was like, why would Shamia kind of just set me up like that for me to be ambushed? Shamia wasn't doing that. She was defending you in that moment. And I think that Portia just needs to take a moment to understand that. Sometimes with Portia, I feel like she wants to have an issue with Shamia for some reason because Shamia hasn't done anything to her. Like Shamia has been a great friend to you, and Portia, you are going to be the odd man out on that. And we love you, Portia. Honestly, Portia, you working. But we would love to see you and Shamia always be on good terms because you are typically the one that does her wrong. And Shamia keeps coming around. I don't really know why, but I hope y'all can work that out because she wasn't coming for you like that. So basically at the end of this, Portia just lets Kelly know like, oh, so it was your fault, the reason we had this issue. But I think that they can become really, really good friends. And I think that I would love to see her, Shamia, and Kelly and Britt just all just going out on the town, baby, slapping five, have some good drinks, and tearing it up. But yeah, I love to see that they clear the air, and I can't wait to see their friendship blossom. So after we leave that scene, we head over to the studio with Drew, to make some beats. to drop some beats, baby. And she meets up with Angela, Cynthia, and Kenya. Y'all, I wish we got more of Kenya. Oh, I want more of Kenya. Um, Drew, the song was beautiful. Now, you were a little hoarse when you were singing, so I'm glad to have the backing track going on. But the voice is not the voice. The song is a beautiful. Well, your voice is too. The song is a beautiful song. Now, your voice wasn't on point that day. You had to drink your tea. That's okay. I've had my days too. I've had my good days. I've had my bad days, and I've had some hills to climb. See, I didn't sing because this is not a good day for me. Okay, so I'm speaking from experience. But the song is a beautiful song. I will not go and listen to it properly, but it is a gorgeous song. No shade, I'm just being honest. Now, Kenya, she's asking Angela, hey, if she's asking her if Angela and Charles, if that was their first marriage or if they've been married previously. And, Angela gives us a little backstory how they met, which we kind of knew that earlier, but she's filling the ladies in. And she talks about, baby, Angela doing it right. See, listen, when you meet a man in your apartment complex, you get good with the people at the front office. You get good with this reception at the desk, baby. You got to get the people, you got to have your spies. Angela said, baby, I had spies everywhere. I had to know what was going on with my man. She said he was my man. We live in the same building, and I'ma know what's going on. Who is that lady? Oh, that lady. He held the elevator for that lady. What you know about her? What floor she live on? Oh, did he get his massage today? He was in the gym talking to who? See, that's how you got to do it. I know that's right, Angela. Angela, you a little crazy, but I like it, girl. You just keep bringing it, Miss Lady. I like that about you, Angela. You good to me. Angela is great. I really like Angela, and she really showed out at the end. We're gonna talk about it. So after they have their conversation, Kenya is asking Drew about Dennis. She was like, "Is Dennis coming? Like, what's the tea on Dennis?" And listen, the one thing about Drew tried to dodge that bullet, but you can't dodge Miss Kenya, baby. Miss Kenya said, I'm gonna keep you on task." Back to Drew and Dennis. What Dennis said, girl, and what you doing up here with Dennis? So Drew is Drew is trying to downplay their relationship, and I would say this: Kenya is holding her accountable. Drew should have had a conversation first with Porsha before she worked with Dennis. She should have 100% got the blessing from Porsha, and I think that we wouldn't be here. I think if she would have gotten that blessing from Porsha, had a conversation with Porsha about it prior to coming to the show and working with him, then there would not be an issue. Um, I think that Drew and Dennis have a thing? I don't. Do I think that they're friends? I do. But Drew, you have a hard time of holding yourself accountable, and you will lie for no reason. And I feel like you and Dennis are both making this situation worse than what it is. Golly. I feel like you and Dennis are both making this situation worse than what it is. Instead of y'all just stating, like, just we cool, like we work together, it ain't nothing like that. But it's like she's like, oh, we don't even talk on the phone, like we don't do that. Shows a clip of y'all talking on the phone as if you don't know that the cameras will pick this up. And Drew does that, and that's the one thing when it comes to Drew that I don't understand. And then when she gets questioned about it later, she wants to act like she's just unaware, and it's like, Drew, you know what you be doing, like come on now. And that's going to be her issue. She should have had a conversation with her. Drew, you trying to play the victim and like, oh well, I reached out to Porsha. I reached out to Porsha, and I'm with Cynthia. It ain't that hard to get in touch with her. She said, "Girl, I done been all across the country, and I got in touch with Porsha. So if you really wanted to have the conversation with her, you should have just called her up. You do go naked hair, but like, girl, I need to do me another go naked pickup, girl. I'm gonna come meet you around there. Grab some go naked from one of them Rubbermaid containers, slap it on your head. While you slapping it in, y'all can have the conversation so you can go and do your photo shoot. That's all you got to do." And Cynthia gave a great example. She was like, listen, when Kenya was doing her shoot, her show or whatever, she was like, hey, I want to work with Leon. She got her blessing before she even worked with the man. That's how you supposed to do it. That is how you supposed to do it, Drew. And I think that that you should have met up with Porsha instead of just having, a text message thread with her. You should have actually met up with her. Now, Drew says that Porsha reached out to her and she said that she want to have a convo, which we are ready to see because that should have happened prior to this season starting. But yeah, it's long overdue. It's long overdue. Drew should have had that conversation with Porsha. I'm just saying, it's kind of messed up. Now, one thing that Cynthia said, and I have to agree again. Cynthia said the baby daddies hit different. Now, I ain't got a baby daddy, But I'm just saying, if I did have one, I would have an issue with him working with one of y'all, and he ain't ranting about me, and you ain't ranting about me either. It'll be an issue. I'm just saying. Now y'all can run and tell it. You could do what you want to do. Move on to the next question. But I have a problem with it. I sure would. Now we're gonna move on to the next thing because I done got mad like I got a baby dad. I ain't got a baby or well, I do got a daddy. Lord have mercy. I ain't got a baby and I ain't got a baby daddy. But y'all know what I mean. So we're gonna move on to Shamia and her beautiful sisters. They are a beautiful family. This is a Shamia Stan account. This is Shamia Stan account. I'm just letting y'all know right now. I don't foresee me saying nothing bad about Shamia this whole season. I don't think Shamia gonna do nothing wrong. I hope she don't, because if she do, I might just have to close my eyes and move on to the next thing. Because I love me some Shamia. Shamia, you all right with me? This is Shamia Stan account. Her and her beautiful sisters are having a conversation, and Shamia is getting deep. That's the thing I love about her. It's deep. It's real. I feel like I'm a part of her family, and I feel like that's why I'm so emotionally invested in Shamia. Is because I feel like she's inviting us into everything that she has going on in her life, her miscarriages, her doing IVF, her emotions of what she's going through, with having to go to the hospital and all these doctors, her family, stepping in and helping her, even with her family's illnesses that they're going through. Like when she brought up, her daughter was like, no, I don't want you to go to the hospital. Let daddy go and you stay with me. Like, y'all, that's tugging at your heartstrings. Shamia, girl, you are strong. You are a beautiful woman. And you keep doing what you're doing, girl. I hope that the Lord blesses you with everything that you want in life and deserve in life, plus more, because you are phenomenal. Phenomenally black and a phenomenal woman. I love you, Shamia, girl. Now, we head over to Angela pulling up in her truck, baby. Pulling up, pulling up in her truck. She at her property. We see her and Charles meeting up. And I really like their relationship. Their relationship reminds me of, parents that have been together for a long time and they just act like they don't like each other, but they really do. Like, that's what they give me. I really think that they are funny. I think that they're a cute couple. I do think that they need to go to counseling, but I do think that they're a funny couple. I really, really do enjoy Angela and Charles. I think they're great. Now, she talks about the situation about him being in Madison Square Garden, and I remember that. I remember him getting kicked out because it was a big thing. Like, it was kind of like a little tussle, little situation allegedly going on. So I remember that. She talks about them having to live separately and them essentially living together now, and just working on their relationship. So I'm with it. I think that therapy is needed, and I think that they can work together. But I think that they're good for each other. I think that they're a good balance. And I think that some people might be like, no, I don't think that they're good. I think he can come off a little mean or standoffish, or like he doesn't really want her. And I just think that that's his way of playfully showing his emotions. But I think he does really care about her. So yeah, I like their relationship. They're playful, but they do need to go to counseling because it can teeter that line of really being annoyed versus really being playful. So there's that on that. So we see Drew showing up to her attorney's office, and I just got one question. Drew, what the hell did you have on? Drew, you are going to see your attorney. Why do you have lingerie super glued to your suit? I was sitting here looking at Drew. When I tell you, I had to rewind that 3 times because I was like, does she really have a bustier glued to her suit? And I know that some people be trying to be different with their fashion. That just was not given. It literally looked like a pantsuit with a bustier or a corset, lace corset glued to it. It was not given. And then I think too, the corset that was glued to it was so flappy that it looked sloppy. It doesn't, and also too, it doesn't something that you'll wear to your attorney's office. To me, it just wasn't appropriate. Y'all might disagree. I just didn't feel like it was appropriate to wear to your attorney's office if you're going to talk about your marital affairs. I think it was real tacky, Drew. Yeah, that was not it. I don't know what you were doing with that. That's really inappropriate, in my opinion. Now, they started talking about the divorce with Ralph, and we already knew that we knew Ralph was going to cause her hell the whole time with their relationship. The way that he did it in a relationship, you think that the divorce is going to go smooth? Absolutely not. And he's just doing a lot of things like giving extra documents, padding the book. He's just doing, allegedly, he's just doing way too much. But once again, we knew that he was going to do this. But when her attorney is saying that the documents are going to be unsealed and a lot of the things that she was trying to hide are going to come out, that's a little disheartening, to hear that a lot of that's going to come out, because at the end of the day, I know she wants to protect her children, and I would hope that he will want the same. So I hope that both of them can put their differences aside and do what's best for the children. That's what I hope for them out of that situation. Just do what's best for the kids. And I hope that they can figure that out. So, as Drew is leaving that, we see Shamia getting ready to go to take her daughter to surgery. And I posted this on my Instagram. When I tell y'all, Shamia is such a black mama, because the way she had that baby greased up in that back seat, baby, it just reminded me of all my elementary school pictures, just greasy, just grease it down. But you know what? The skin be looking good, the skin moisturized. I should have greased myself up before coming on the camera. But the child was super greased up, but it was super cute. And seeing her excited about the surgery, that was really cute as well. That she wasn't scared. And also, Shamia wasn't making her scared too. So that was great, to see that. And it was really cute to see her husband nervous, because that is such a thing that I've seen some dads do. Like, oh, I'm not nervous, but they'll just stand there or they'll pace about the situation. So that was really, really cute. I really love seeing them. So after that, we see Porsha going to the spa with Aunt Diane, with Miss Diane. It was really, really good to see them. Miss Diane looks great. And, they're talking about Portia's divorce, and Miss Diane felt like, Dennis was not Dennis. Well, yeah, him too. She felt like, what is that man? Simon. Simon was going to be Portia's protector. That's what she kind of saw him as. Sure. Yeah. Well, we all thought that. But they talk about a lot of the customs, that they have with their marriage. And one of the things that I will say when it comes to, their marriage and their family, I do like the piece that just learning a little bit more about the culture, and how she was saying that, in his country, the family can intervene. I guess intervene to stop them. I don't know what they were going to intervene to do, but they could intervene, I guess, to, I don't know. Let me not even simply act like I know. I don't think that she talked about it. If she did, I missed it. But they can intervene, I think, to intervene to possibly stop him from doing some of the things that he was doing, or to just kind of like help them get their marriage back on track. And, Portia was a little disappointed when she said they didn't intervene, and they were just like, let the American divorce happen. And I think that really hurt her. One thing I will say about Portia is, I will say that Portia is a hopeless romantic. I'm the same. I'm a hopeless romantic, so I can understand some of the things that she does in some of her situations, but Portia does fall extremely fast. But yeah, Portia needs to figure that out. But Portia definitely is a hopeless romantic, and she loves hard, and she loves naively. So Portia, that's something you're gonna have to, sit back and really understand. Something that I don't like is just the little sprinkles of like cracks in Portia and Shamia's relationship, and not from Shamia's side, from Portia's side. So Portia, I think that you are doing y'all's relationship a disservice by even allowing some of those things to come through, because I think that that Shamia is not coming to try to hurt you. I think that she's just doing what she would normally do. So yeah, I'm kind of not feeling that. I ain't feeling that too much, Portia. So we see the ladies getting ready to go to Kelly's Balmain event. The event looks super dope. So we seeing all of the ladies showing up. We see Kenya in Brooklyn. I love that. We see Portia and Pilar. We see all of the ladies and their daughters showing up. It was a beautiful event. It's really, really dope. So we see Portia and Cynthia breaking off, and they're having a chat about, Portia's divorce, and Cynthia just trying to, give her some support in that. We love to see it. We're seeing all the other ladies. We see Kenya and Britt greet each other. They look like they're on good terms for this episode. And then we see Portia ask Shamia if she's had a conversation with Angela. And what Shamia has said, baby, she said, I ain't had a conversation with 90's nose. When I tell you, I was weak. That was good to me. That was good to me, baby. It was good. And then, Angela's having a conversation with some of the other ladies about how, she wants to have a conversation with Shamia. Oh, and baby, they do. And it was good. So they start to have they have their conversations, but we see Kelly coming out, and she's explaining the event, like what the event is for, and how some of the proceeds from the event that they're buying, some of the Balmain, are going to go to the OI Foundation. It's also known as brittle bones disease or disorder. And when she was talking about the blue ring around the eyes, I've seen people with that. I don't know if it's everybody who has like a blue ring around that, if that's what it's associated with. But I I really like Kelly. I really like her. I really connect with characters who have a deep, meaningful storyline. And Kelly's coming in hitting the ground running. Like she's already having events. Like this is what I'm talking about. And it's not like little mediocre events. It's like, oh, I had them close down Balmain so I could have me a private event. Like, and it's not like, oh, this is what I do every now and then. No, I've done this before. So I like that. It seems very authentic to Kelly. So I'm really excited to see what all she's gonna bring. But even hearing her talk about her story with the CPS being called and she couldn't go anywhere, she couldn't go in there to see her kids because they felt like she was abusing them. That's deep. My heart goes out to her because I know that was a stressful, hard situation for her to go through that at that time. So yeah, Kelly, I'm really liking Kelly this season. I'm liking all the newbies for the most part. I like Britt too. I just something about Britt. I just need a little bit more because I feel like there's something there. So we see Drew show up, and she's having a conversation with Cynthia, Angela, and Kenya, and they're saying, "Hey, have you had a conversation with her? You should go and do it." And I'm with Drew. We're not going to force the conversation. If it happens, it happens. Let it happen naturally, and I 100% agree with that. But I heard Kenya talk about some girl. You can't miss them hips. Portia do got body. Portia got body down. The body is bodying. She looks phenomenal. So after we leave that conversation, we see Angela head over to Shamia and she wants to have that conversation with Shamia. So, Angela's saying, I feel like we got off on a bad foot. And Shamia agrees, she does. And Shamia's like, listen, I want to get to know Angela. I don't want to get to know Drew's spokesperson. And Angela was like, well, that's who I am. I'm going to speak up and I'm going to stand up for my girl. And Shamia's just letting her know, well, if that's the case, then we done. We don't need to have no conversation then. So then, Angela calls her Shamina, calls her a mean girl, all of that good stuff. So now, Angela, you started it because you called that lady a mean girl. Shamia was walking off. You called her a mean girl, and she called you 90s nose. So she called you 90s nose, right? So then you called her Flavor Flav. Baby, when I say y'all was going back and forth, tip for tat, that's what I like to see. I love to see the girls read, baby. If I love to see a good read session. And this is what I was here for. It was good. Y'all, baby, playing tennis. I thought it was Venus and Serena throwing the ball across the street. Y'all know what I mean? Across the street to each other. It was great. So it was good. So they calmed them down for having a conversation. They calmed them down for having a conversation. So Angela go her way. So then Portia come back over, because they talking to Angela. So Portia go over and check on her friend. And she like, girl, I heard you was talking about people's bodies and stuff. And she was like, oh, you talking about 90s now? When Shamia had said she over there looking like LaToya Jackson. I was weak. I was so weak. Because why would you say that? When I tell you, I can't unsee it now. Angela looks so much like LaToya Jackson to me now. I can't unsee it. If Nene were to come back, I feel like Nene can't come back to Real Housewives as long as Angela on there because she can be triggered. Y'all know Nene got an issue with LaToya Jackson. I'm just nervous. Baby, when I tell y'all that was so funny. And then even Britt was like, I don't mean to laugh, but she do. The lady do look like LaToya Jackson. And then Kenya come over there talking about some, well, why you call her LaToya Jackson? Portia was like, she called her Flavor Flav. Y'all even hard on this thing. And then what Portia had said, I was so weak. When I tell y'all, it was so funny. Oh my gosh. Like that was the best part of the episode. I feel like they could end it right then. So then we see, um, whew, we see Shamia, have a little mini combo with Drew. She apologizes, and they're able to move forward. And, she's encouraging her to have a conversation with Portia. So when we see Drew head over to go have a conversation with Portia, Portia's like, baby, we're not having one today. I'm not feeling well. That was good to me. And I agree with Portia. The kids are there. It's not the right time to have that conversation. There are kids involved. And Portia just feels like she wants to have the conversation because her sister's there. Because we know that Drew's sister robbed her as she should. I get it. But I do think that it wasn't the best time to have that conversation. Y'all's kids are around here, y'all's daughters. It ain't the time to have that. We don't already have Flavor Flav and LaToya Jackson over here fighting. We don't need to see no more celebrities getting in the ring. This is not celebrity death match. We do not need to see no more celebrities fighting down to the ball mine, baby. Absolutely not. But y'all, that is where the episode ends. I'm telling y'all, this season of Real Housewives of Atlanta is great. It is a great start so far. I'm really, really excited to see the rest of the season. I'm really excited to see why Kenya is not full-time housewife. Apparently, we're going to get that in like the next episode or two. So I'm excited for all of that. But if you are new here, once again, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell button so that you get all of the alerts when I drop the latest videos. And if you are returning, I appreciate you, family. We need to continue to grow our community. I appreciate y'all more than you know. But I will see y'all soon. Hope you enjoyed the review. Have a good one, everybody.